Today we're going to talk about how to winterize a coach house. Now, I brought Mike, he's our foreman, and I want him to explain to us through a Q&A on how to winterize a vehicle. This is going to be in a nutshell. And what I mean by a nutshell, there might be some deviations amongst product, but for the most part, these should all be about the same, right?
Pretty standard, yes.
Pretty standard. So why don't you tell us a little bit? We talk about 4-season. Explain 4-season coaches to us.
All of your functionality on the plumbing is above the floor, inside the heat envelope. Every coach has a winterization valve. With this valve open during the summer, spring, whatever, you hook up to city water, your coach has pressure.
Okay.
You close this valve, you operate off of your pump, a completely contained internal setup for all your plumbing.
So all of your plumbing is now, by turning this valve,
is all internal.
Inside the coach.
You turn that valve, you open your low point drain, this plumbing here below the floor drains out.
Yep.
You now work off of just your fresh water tank.
Okay.
And on the Platinum 4s, that's a 40-gallon tank.
Yes. This is something I want to point out, because a lot of people say, well, you have exposed plumbing. This is purely for summer. This is purely to help winterize, or to low point drain your vehicle. So this is really, you don't need to heat tape it. You don't need to cover it with anything, nothing. And I've had people that have had it done. It's unnecessary because we cap this at the top of the floor.
Yep.
Correct? Now, what else is inside the vehicle?
Your fresh water tank.
Okay.
Your water heater.
Yes.
Pump. Your water pump is inside, close to the tank. All the entire water system from that valve forward is inside the heat envelope of the vehicle.
Okay. So if you're going to use your vehicle in the wintertime, you can use this, but the key is that hot water heater.
The hot water heater.
What do they do with the hot water heater if they're using it?
On the Truma,
yes.
One click down to a winterization setting.
Okay, can they still use it?
Yes.
Okay.
That allows, what the heater does at that point is once it's below 32 degrees, about every 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending, it fires up for a minute.
Okay.
And keeps itself from freezing. It has freeze sensors.
Gotcha. Well, that's really important to know. So you can use this vehicle with hot water in the wintertime.
Yep. You just have to set the dial to it. That's it.
Okay. All right. So we got to make sure
it's got a snowflake. So
it's got a snowflake. Yeah, I've seen the dial. So we got to make sure that we have that set. Now, we're done. We're done camping. We don't want to do this. We're going to put our coach away for the winter. How do you winterize?
Okay. The way I tell, the freshwater tank has a low point drain on it, a gravity drain.
Right on the tank.
On the tank, just off the side of the tank. Takes about a week of Sundays to gravity drain it. Open your low point valve.
Which is this.
Down. It'll be the only one you'll see below the body.
Below the body, yes. Okay.
Turn on your water pump.
Yes.
And wait.
Okay.
15, 20 minutes. Tank is empty.
Yep.
Turn the valve off. Turn the pump off.
Okay.
Add 3 gallons of RV antifreeze.
Okay.
Potable water antifreeze.
Okay.
Into the fresh water tank from the outside fill.
Yes. Now, what do you do before we start pumping the hot water heater itself?
Then you go to the hot water heater and flip the bypass valves.
Okay.
There's be 2 brass valves and a short hose or a short piece of pipe.
Okay.
Point the handles at the pipe or the hose.
Gotcha. So that bypasses the ability for
internal
anything to get
parts of the water heater.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure that people understand that. That's a very, very what would I say? Very vulnerable part of the freshwater system is that hot water heater.
Yes.
So we got to make sure we get the water out of that hot water heater and that we have bypassed the hot water heater.
But once you've bypassed your hot water heater, turn your pump back on, open every faucet.
Yes.
Hot, cold, you'll see pink coming out of it.
Yes. Yes.
Shut it off. Move to the next ones. Do your galley sink, your inside shower, your vanity sink. Then come out and do your outside shower.
And the toilet?
The toilet, I always put a little bit of antifreeze in and flush it.
Okay, very good. Yes,
that's it.
Yes. Okay.
But don't forget that outside shower.
Yes, outside
it's
shower.
It's all plastic.
Yes.
And then once you've done that, you'll have your freshwater fill valve closed. This will be closed. You leave your pump running. You open that valve till you see pink. Then you close it. You open up your fresh water valve to circulate through the little bit of plumbing underneath there so that everything has antifreeze in it.
Has any antifreeze. Now, the antifreeze you're referring to is an RV antifreeze.
Yes.
It's a non-toxic.
It's a potable, water-safe antifreeze.
Yes. You don't want to use an
No
automotive
no
automotive antifreeze. So, so that is there anything? So that takes care of everything. There'll be antifreeze in the freshwater tank.
Yep.
All of your lines is
all of your traps will be filled because you're running
traps.
the antifreeze in the sinks.
Okay, so all that makes sense to do.
And then you just dump your tank.
Dump your black and gray water tank.
Yep.
Okay. Now, do you recommend putting anything in the black and gray water tanks?
Usually before you start to winterize, your tanks are going to be empty.
Yes.
So whatever you've run in is antifreeze.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to worry about it.
So it's probably good to have a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, whatever you drain from the system.
From the systems. Gotcha. Okay. What else do we need to know about winterization? All of our lines are insulated, as you can
Everything
see here.
internal is insulated.
We color coordinate hot and cold.
Yep.
From a color standpoint, so you'll know where your lines are all running. But
yeah, we got red, white, and blue.
the biggest key to winterization, in a nutshell, is getting the water out of the system. So we'll show you how to winterize that Truma hot water heater. Now, Coach House uses two different types of hot water heaters, but we've gravitated into the Truma Insta-Hot propane hot water heater. Here's one installed in our vehicles right now, and Mike's going to show you through the process on how to winterize.
All right, first step is to turn it off. Put the rocker switch in the middle. You'll have no lights on, so you'll know that the water heater is off. Vent your water heater. That keeps you from getting too wet. Because once you do that, you can pop this out. You're going to have a couple of quarts of water come running out. And what I tell people to do with this, put it right on the passenger seat. You don't lose it, and you know that your water heater can't be turned on.
That's a really good idea.
And these are simple to go back in. It'll only go one way, and then you just lock it.
And what did this valve do here?
That's a T&P valve, a temperature and pressure relief valve.
Okay.
What that does is if there's pressure on the system, because you bypassed it under pressure in the back,
okay,
this vents it.
So the first thing you do is bypass.
Bypass it.
Okay.
Turn the two
bypass
valves.
is going to be on the inside.
On the inside, right on the water heater itself.
On the hot water. Okay. Okay. And then after you bypass it,
you vent it.
Yep. And then you release.
And then
make
you
sure
release
it's
this
off.
here.
And then you release it there. That sounds pretty simple.
It's not complicated.
Like pretty simple.
After the first time you do it, it's routine.
Okay, but again, a very vulnerable device if you don't winterize it. If these freeze, you're in trouble.
That's
so you really need.
That's your water tank. It's plastic.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. It's a 2-quart water tank, but plastic does not do well in the winter.
Yep. Exactly. So that's a pretty simple process. We get a lot of questions asked. Now, you talked about
the outside shower.
Yep.
This one's pretty simple.
Okay.
You take it, turn on the valve.
Yep.
Let it run till it's pink.
Till it's pink. Okay.
Turn that valve off. Open the hot one. Let it run till it's pink.
Till it's pink.
Then it's done.
Gotcha.
You know?
Because again, that's vulnerable because that's also on the outside.
Yes.
Now, using this in the winter time, do we have to worry about the outside shower?
No.
Okay.
No, because the back of it is inside the heat envelope.
Okay. Inside the heat envelope is a key word here, I think. So.
Yep.
Good. So that kind of does a pretty good job of what we do. Now, the whale hot water heater that we use are going to be in some of the older models. We've changed everything now to Truma. But with the whale, that was a 6-gallon engine assist 110-volt hot water heater. Kind of the same theory. You're going to have a bypass kit on it, right?
Exactly. There'll be a short white hose that runs from side to side.
Okay.
Point the brass valves toward it.
Yep.
Down on the bottom, there's a hose fitting.
Okay.
A valve.
Yes.
Just like on the outside of your house. Unscrew it, you're now draining the tank.
Okay. Very, very, very important because that's an aluminum 6-gallon canister.
Yep.
And if that's full of water, water expands when it freezes. I've seen them look like you put like an M80 in and they boom, they blow up. So we want to make sure that people understand winterization. And if you have questions about winterization, call us. It's a pretty simple process. Again, water out of the system, add some RV antifreeze, pump it through your whole system, and you're good to go to leave your vehicle alone in the wintertime.
Yep.
Right? Sound good?
In the springtime, you stick a hose in the fill, start running your pump and running faucets until the pink goes away.
Until the pink goes away. That's right. Very good. Very good analogy. Yeah, very, very simple. So let's keep it simple. All right, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, man. Thank you.